Hello and welcome to the stream. At least I think I'm streaming. We'll see what happens. I know there's a bit of a delay. And let me do my normal little checkarooski here to make sure I can hear myself. I probably should just do it from this one, huh? Yeah, I can do it from this one. I've been doing it from the other. So welcome. Welcome to the... Yep, there you go. Echo. All right, so let's close that one. Good. All right. Well, welcome, guys. Sorry about the delay. A buddy of mine, we had storms come through, and I looked outside my house. I had a couple branches down. The power went out for 5 minutes. I never thought much of it, other than was a little annoyed that my clocks were all flashing, the digital ones. The other ones were, behind the time a bit. But I got that straightened out pretty easily. Hello, Shunter. Welcome. And Red Fox, welcome. And anyway, so I don't know. I've been living in my bubble. I went to the store. I work from home, but didn't think much. Well, driving out to his house, which is only 10 miles away, which is like, 16 kilometers or something? Which is a little distance, but not too much. There was literally like trees just snapped off, like big trees that are, well, I'm American, so like 18 inches, which I guess is like half a meter, like just snapped off like halfway. Like this one little town that's west of me just kind of got pretty much rocked. So, and they snapped, like it broke the telephone pole by his house. But anyway, he's got a little bit of power. So let's do some workers and resources instead of worrying about his power. But he was happy, and he's in a wheelchair, by the way, so he can't do too much for himself. Now, normally I spend 10 or 15, maybe not that long, but 5 or 10 minutes just going around seeing what's what. And I know we left it, if I'm remembering right, where we had assigned our construction offices. Yeah, at least he's working on the playground, huh? And I guess we had just gotten our oil. Is that right? I don't know if you guys have any suggestions. Yeah, so we got our oil going here. And our train station, train construction office, rail construction office, they're assigned things and don't have any warning messages. So what were we going to do? We got this construction office, and I got 2 vehicles in here. So I think that means we can at least get up over this hill with our rail planning. It would be nice to have a few extra vehicles, but we don't have a lot of money. Why do we have so little money? Didn't I buy something at the end of the last one? So again, this is why I usually spend some time reminding myself of everything. Yeah, I am a little concerned about that money. I thought we had like a lot more. I know I must have done. I remember doing something at the end of the last one. I bought some vehicles or something, didn't I? Oh, I bought that other rail construction crane. Yeah, now we have 2. I know I did that much. And yeah, there we go. This guy's working. And this is another rail construction office we're going to work on. And yeah, we'll get that worked on by our construction crews. This guy's auto finding roads. Yeah, so we'll get that his partner. Is this road built? Yes. So we can. And then is there a connector he can work on? You know what? Did we not get oh no, there's the road to this. Yeah, so we have to get this part done first. Good. Let's just get this guy. Oh, look at all that stuff. Finished conveyor. You're working on all kinds of stuff already, but that's all right. We'll just make sure you're assigned to all those things. Good. So do you guys have any suggestion for the direction we're heading? Good. We got that railroad thing done, which is good. We can get in there and start building this one. Yeah, should we fire up close? I think that was one of the questions that we had, or at least it's a question I have right now, is should we fire up close or just wait for the rail to be done? I think the main reason I would have built this rail, besides it's probably good to get the stuff done here, is if we ever build rail, it's I know people are talking about this city, and it's a fine town, and it's, but at the same time, it's sort of very limited what we would do there, I think, as compared to like this whole valley that we can, you know, is reasonably flat. This whole area here, we got oil somewhere right over here, I think. And we have, this was a town, right? So we can build another town anywhere there was a town, even if I deleted all the houses. And again, we don't really have to follow all of our own rules, right? If we really see a need to build something someplace else. The only problem with saying that as a rule is that there's like nothing over here. Like there's no cities or towns anywhere other than like kind of along the river there, more or less. We're fairly close to this river. All right, anyway. So what do we need to do? Weren't we checking? I think we were talking about getting this built too. Because I think we could really use a train export. Though buying a train is a little bit, we probably really need to consider, well, we're not going to buy an electric one. So it's going to be 300 grand, say, or so. I guess we could get this little one, but yeah, I don't know what the tons. I never really tested the trains. I probably should do more train testing as to what these numbers like why do I care about the empty weight? I mean, I understand why you do with a real train, but does that equate in here? Like, in other words, the cars have to have the engines have to have a certain weight, or else they just sit there spinning. You need a heavy locomotive in order to pull a heavy train, or at least it helps. So I'm not really sure how these really benefit you, these numbers, but I'd say 300,000, and then if we got tankers, that's not too expensive. That one's 100,000, and I'd rather kind of get the bigger ones. I would think that would be of a benefit. Even if we don't get a lot of them, we could get two. So we're talking probably in the neighborhood of 500,000 to 700,000, and our numbers are going down here. So yeah, why are our numbers going down? That's kind of a concern. We're buying clothes. Well, we can take care of that. We're buying a fair number of electronics. We're buying food at the moment. Where are we? You know what? I'm going to pause it because I want to catch. There's only a couple places. I don't want it to stop buying food. So what is in here? This guy's meat storage. So we don't have any truck dropping off food, and we've run out here. So how many trucks do we have coming over here? 2. You would think that would be enough, right? So it sounds like that's just not enough. And if we come back over here, let's close this for a second. If we come back over to here, what's going on? The food factory has almost no food there. Even though it's got a lot of crops, it needs more people. All right, let's play time again. So here, let's just check this one. I just want to, like I said, catch them. And this one doesn't have any food either. Yeah, let's try to get some more people to our food. Let's keep it in normal play mode for now. So what do we got? See, this is the problem with buses. This is why I'm building these train lines in here, is that they end up back to back. Yeah, see, we're trying to get, like that's two separate buses, both going to the same place, and it's, the second bus has one person on it because they're just they always end up back to back like that. Okay, well, let's go take a look at what else we're spending. So I don't know if I just want to add another bus or not. Do we have... I guess we probably should, right? While we still have the money. Or let's just see if there's not something else we can... Now, we're buying mechanical components, which we can't really avoid if we're doing construction. Boards and cement. Yeah, well, it makes sense that we would buy those things. So the real killers are these clothes. And I'm thinking if we're going to buy buses and do these things, I think we'd be probably just as well off getting the clothes going. So let's just see. Yeah, we're doing bitumen and fuel. Oh, you know what? That's another thing to check. Are we having a trucking catastrophe? No. No. At least I don't see one. Like, in other words, do we have all the trucks are up in that one spot? Yeah, they are. Oh, you know what? We do have this kind of slowdown, don't we? Yeah, but they should. The slowdown. Here's the thing about a conveyor. Oh, geez, I almost spilled my tea. Here's the thing about a conveyor. It doesn't matter how fast or slow the conveyor goes. It only matters how fast you put things on it, right? So if I'm putting one thing on and it's moving along at a kilometer per second, or I don't know, less than that, but you know, a meter in a minute, it doesn't matter. As long as I'm putting all those things on there, they're going to come off the other end. It just, though each individual item, once the conveyor's full and running, you know, you're still getting just as many items off the other end of the conveyor as you're putting on. So, in other words, when it comes to these trucks, even though they're driving slower, it's more a matter of how many can we get out of here, right? So, in other words, as long as we're taking all the fuel out of here, then we're good to go, if that makes sense. Now, that is something else I remember. I forget who said it. Pietro or somebody was saying, fire up the cisterns. And I remember thinking, okay, we'll do that next week. But I'm just looking, and we have fuel in here. So let me... he's going to a gas station. Yeah, he's going to the custom house. So let's... yeah, you know what? I'd like to put this one on unload anything. Yeah, that's fine. So he already has storage 3. Yeah, this guy can start off. So let's start up some more fuel trucks. I think that'll help because we've got this extra oil now, right? So we'll see. And we up the number of people that could get over here. And bitumen, we're doing pretty good with bitumen. Yeah, so let's get this fired up over the next couple minutes here. We'll get another truck. What are you doing? No, you don't need to do all that craziness. Oh, you were going to the rail construction office. Okay. I don't know why. Do we have a truck sitting in the rail construction office? Yeah, there he is. Right there. Good. All right, well, I'm not going to worry about that too much. Get him started as well. And we are good to go on this tank. Yeah, our domestic supply is filled up. So how are you doing? So we're building up a little bit of bitumen. We'll see how we do in a period of time. But the biggest thing is we're building up some fuel or some oil. We don't really have that many people coming here. Yeah, we got everybody off of that bus stop. All right, so let's see. Road cistern. Yeah, I don't even know. Well, he was the one I was copying from, right? And then this is our fuel tank. Yeah, so what do you guys think? We'll keep setting some of these guys out here until we get this to go down. It did go down a little bit, if you notice, so that should help us with our money a bit. And other than that, we don't really have any exports now. Yeah, it definitely makes me want to. Yeah, it makes me want to work on this a little bit more. But we don't really have a place to drop off the steel, do we? Like, in other words, if we send a train in here, we don't want to starve ourselves of steel. It would be best to take the train out and then drop it off, the supplies off someplace. Now, the good thing is it seems like the trucks and the steel will... Yeah, see, we're not 100% full on steel, but I think we're doing well. Like, in other words, it might be smart to put like a place that we can put the steel. What do you guys think? In other words, a rail yard that we could put the steel into before we go and export it. And then we could take the trains or the trucks like out of here and just send them to like one that's like maybe right. I'm looking at this area because it would. Yeah, but is that really worth it? Or do we just sort of micromanage that rail car for now? Yeah, now are you. What's going? Okay, this guy's heading back. Let's just make sure. Where are you, what are you working on? You're working on that bridge. This one's probably the other one, isn't it? That's 2. Yeah, that's just unfinished railroad. Yeah, so is this one? What I'm trying to figure out, is this the one he's working on? Yeah, that's 4. Okay, so good. So both tracks go into the rail. I hope. See, we're closing things I didn't necessarily want to, but that's all right. Really, the one I want to keep an eye on is this one. Yeah, look, it's going down. So we'll hold off and put in more cisterns, but that's not going to hurt us with our money. So I think the thing to do, unless you guys have a different opinion, is to maybe start, leveling out, at least to get up over this hill some. And I guess we should, yeah, I'm thinking like we level like right here a bit, kind of keep it, I don't know, that's pretty steep right here. Let's turn on the wireframe, maybe you guys can see it better. I guess it's kind of steep the whole way, but I think, this was like more going up the side of the hill, not directly up it. I think it's a little more realistic, and then we just kind of pick up the road. Like we might even just go to where this road is. Nobody's using this road, right? No. So let's just delete a bunch of it. And then we'll take our track like right where that road was. All right. Let's see, how can we... That look nice. I think it's a little bit more realistic, maybe. Oh, we're actually filling in dirt, aren't we? That's right. As long as it turns green. And let's get rid of this road. That was just a... Oops. That was just a marker. All right. Yeah, so let's come from like here. Oops. That's the delete tool. Let me get my tea ready. So normally I warm up for 15 minutes and I think about what's going on last week. I got my tea all going. Should be nice and strong. What did I let it sit there for a good 20 minutes, right? Here we go. Yeah, tea with honey. I think it... Jeez, making me cough. Tea with honey. I think it's, doesn't hurt my throat when I'm sitting here talking for 3 hours. Yeah, make that nice and level. And we get a railroad track all the way up to the border. And then I think I may do a real little levelly right here. It's just, I think I messed this, and you know what, so putting level like this and this sort of helps you get it as smooth as you can, especially if you hold it in a similar spot on both ends. See how I am changing it a little bit? And then when I do this on this side, it makes it pretty even side to side. That's good enough. And I come from like here. Yeah, where are we at? Yeah, I think I'd kind of stay up the hill here, right? Why are you not? What is the existing... Oh, do I have power lines here? Oh, yeah, look at that. Well, these poor power lines have taken a beating. We're going to take another beating. Okay, right. Yeah, that's fine. And then I'm going to go from that like little flat spot over here to, let's say, here. It's just about hitting where I deleted that power line, so that's kind of good. Didn't really expect that to raise that up so much. I think it may even... That's fine. Yeah, it really did raise it up a lot. That's okay. Yep, that one's good to go. All right, so let's see. Can we get the rail going? Kind of missed there, didn't I? All right, then just before I forget, where was that power line? Somewhere. Am I in the right neighborhood? Oh, there it is, all the way up here. Okay. There you go. Right. So we'll commit to that. And I don't know, that might be one of those that we'll have to auto finish or auto purchase. All right, so where do we go from here? I think we get rid of some more road that's in the way. Hello, Dennis. I just saw your message. Welcome. So does anybody have any thoughts on what we do next? You know, this is obviously not overly exciting in a sense, as far as what we're doing. Yeah, let's do a little more. I don't think it's too unrealistic to level a fair amount for trains. I mean, trains need a reasonably flat thing, and companies spend a lot of money to get said reasonably flat thing going. Yeah, I think we're just going to stay a good distance away from this road, but basically go to it. Okay, so all right, well, I guess we're just going to see if we can go the rest of the way. We don't need that attached anymore. Yeah, a little concerned about that hump right there. I don't necessarily want to wait to build a whole new construction office. Let's just see how it goes. We may be like remote Alaska style rail lines through the woods, right? If nothing else, if we do have to build a new construction office, at least we've gotten... Yeah, see, we're turning... There we go. Okay, if I go right there, it's... Because the roads are one thing, I think the trains are another as far as what's... They're not exactly... Oops, yeah. Yeah, that's kind of get... I'd really like to get you to go green, like... That That might work. I wanted to stay a little further away from the road, just because if you ever want to put it a junction or something, it's sort of... Good, we're past that point. And we need to miss... Yeah, see, that's sort of... Can I go... Okay, so what do we hit? Oh, there comes our power lines again the other way. Yeah, that was a power line. I think I will try to delete that without deleting the... Yeah, good, I got it. Yeah, then what we're going to do is... Take that back. All right, we're down to 57,000. We are not raking in the bucks anymore, are we? This might be a problem. I guess well, yeah, we don't even really have the money to, like... Let's just carefully use the regular demolish tool. Okay, we made it that far. Just sort of concerned about... Oops, let's make it straighter. I don't know what the difference between those two spots was, but now we need to be on the other side, don't we? All right, let's just get down out of these hills and then we'll think about that. Yeah, I guess I'd go from here. Let's get rid of... Right, and then we'll just try to make like a, see if we can make like a fairly tight turn. Yep. Yeah, and then you know what I'm thinking of is, let's delete this back. Thinking what we do is something like this. Oh, come on. Too close? What are you talking about too close? You just did it for me a second. Oh, there must be a road ending there. Yeah, can I give you like this and then, yeah. All right, so that way we can have, you know, and I do want to signal these anyway. I can make them chain signals for now, or double two-way signals, but we would have a chain coming in and a regular signal coming back out, right? And then if there's a line, I would stop the trains up here so that, you know, I'd probably put like a double chain. That's not a chain, like a double chain here so that we don't stop the traffic on the road. Now, these guys should be, you know, just clearing out and going on their way, right? Like they should just keep moving and heading back. There shouldn't ever be a jam up there. Now this is a 3 train station, so we could consider, yeah, do we want to make it, it probably would be smart to do this further away. Yeah, you know what? That's a fine idea, but like in other words, even if we don't do it now, I think I'd like to get it so that it, you know, we could easily have more than one train. Yeah, which means, you know, we'd have something like, you know, be able to have 3 of them. Is that too tight? Nah. Now the problem is that even long enough? It's probably not. You don't want to be shorter than the longest train because then it'll jam the whole darn thing up, and then they can't even get the heck back out. So I think I want to go even longer. Sorry. I was thinking long, and then I just didn't go long, I guess you could say. All right, so let's just come, or we're just not in question. All right, that'll be plenty long enough. And then if we start our maneuvering here, yeah, so, you know, I think we're going to do our maneuvering even back a little bit further and on the other side so that we just don't have any question, like I said, of what do you guys think? Is that just overkill? But I think you know me by now. Overkill is not my middle name, but it certainly, it could have been. Right? And so then, you know, that gives the longest train we'd ever stick in here won't go past this. We'll have plenty of room to turn around. They can pick any one of the 3 lanes, and then what is that about straight there? And then they would come out here. All right, and this one could join up. Go to like there, and then there. You want to go to the end there. You know, I should bring it a little bit longer. All right, and then this one. I think I'll even leave it just like that a little bit. You know what? Leave that attached is actually, you know, it's actually kind of easier just to follow that other track as opposed to trying to find the exact end point. What do you guys think? Is that pretty nice? Then we get rid of this bit. Right, we'll just build one of these for now. Like, we don't have to build it all. Well, there we go. So that would be a nice little turnaround, be able to get 3 trains in there in one shot. Again, don't need to build it now. All right, so let's go check on how we're doing. We're not raking in the bucks, but we really kind of need to start raking in the bucks. So what was I going to check? Our trains. Yeah, we're building there. Yeah, it's just, I think we need to go on fast forward mode. And yeah, how is this guy assigned? Yeah, plenty of stuff. This guy, okay, is this road done? No, that road's not done. That's not done. Yeah, so what is your guys, do you have a vote or an opinion on, you know, do we try to fire the close up by bus, which means buying buses? And then here's maybe what we do is, why don't we buy the buses, try to get the clothing going. Same thing. We need to get the corn over to here somehow. What is all of this? I forget. Did we just never put the road, the actual real road plan back through here? Is that the... Like I just... What, forgot? Can I get... I really wish they would show you... Let's zoom in. Can I get a road through there? It seems like... Probably not, but... Yeah, it would be like right that dot between those, you know, like... No. I sort of wanted to jump forward a little bit. Yeah, it's a shame. And I think... Well, the truth of the matter is, too, when we get the rail built, we don't really need this road, do we? I mean, it is slowing them down a little bit, but it's not like it's the, we could get a rail crane in here, or train, and see, that's how we could get corn over to here, which could feed everybody. Though I think we're being a little ambitious with what one farm would be able to provide. But for right now, we've got more corn than we do whatever, so that's not an issue. Hey, Antonio, welcome. Yeah, how are we doing on our steel? Are we making enough? See, we're using steel. We can't really afford to sell steel. Now, bricks, the only problem with bricks is that we're in the middle of the map. So it's sort of like, that's one of the debates is you sell it. I don't think you're going to make as much money as you might think. And then don't forget, we got to buy the vehicles as well. So and if it's so I don't really want to sell steel because we're just going to not have enough steel to build our next project. And it's not even so much that I don't want to sell steel. It's just that I don't want to spend too much money buying trucks that we're just going to have a train ready in a couple hours in a sense, right? Like we've got all this train track built like in order to get this going. The problem is we've sort of got, and look, it is shooting up. And then the other thing to do, and by the way, I don't know if you were here, Antonio, or not. I see you just said hello, but we were upping the number of trucks over to our fuel, and I think we can do that again. Yeah, I'm just going to put this one on everything. And so when I see this combination, I know right away that they're. So we'll start another couple of these fuel trucks up there since we already own them. Like, in other words, if I spend $100,000 buying more trucks, I'm not sure how fast that'll pay off. Do we want to send another bitumen? Yeah, why don't we? We could use the bucks. So in other words, and then the thing about the bricks is just the cost of exporting them. Like, how much would we get for bricks? 100. Like, are we just better off exporting more fuel? Like, in other words, fuel sells for 250, which is definitely worth sending a truck up there. Now, bricks are probably worth it. 100 times, how many bricks would we get on a truck? Let's click this. 13, yeah, if we got 10 tons of bricks, sorry. That's $1,000. It can't cost that much in fuel. Well, it costs an awful lot in fuel. And again, the question is, are we better off selling the fuel than selling the fuel that it would cost to drive the bricks up there, plus we have to make the bricks, right? If that makes sense. And if I felt like we were making enough steel there we go. See, now this is the first time today I saw it at 150. So that's saying we're kind of being not efficient by not selling some steel. So steel would be the one thing that I would definitely be inclined to sell, just because it's worth a good amount of money. It's definitely worth driving it up there, like, no doubt. So make sure, yeah, we're full in all the places with steel. So why don't we buy, I guess we'd buy it over here, an open haul that will, I wish you could say, give it like more fancy, yeah, here's the depot, that's what I was looking for. Let's buy an open haul. KMZs are now available. And we'll have this guy start doing some steel. I'm sure we'll use one open haul in the future, at least. Yeah, what are the prefab panels worth? I think prefab panels and bricks are really extremely similar. Well, 161, so there is a little bit more money to be made in prefab panels. Now, just to give you guys an idea, while I'm not hesitating on some of the steel, especially because we're steel is 1,500. So, and then let's see, what is that truck? Where did he go? The same. So, and this truck can hold 16 tons of steel, right? So it's 16 times 1,500, which is too complicated a math for me to do right now on camera. You know what I mean? So you're talking about 15,000 plus another, 60% of 15,000, if that makes sense. So you're talking about 20-some thousand for every truck of steel we sell, versus you're talking 1,000 for every truck of bricks that we sell, which isn't even really that comparable. What's really the point is that if we sell the fuel, we sell it for 258, where if we sell the bricks, so if we use that fuel driving bricks, we could have just sold the fuel, right? And made more money than we would have by selling the bricks. And I know it's not even just that simple, but the bricks and the prefabs are a bit tough. And I think if you were real close, it makes a lot of sense. It's the problem that we're, 8 kilometers away? But let's just keep ramping up our fuel and look, make it, and we'll see. We'll get that steel truck. We'll start doing that. Now, how are we doing here? We both assigned? Yeah. So then it would really be nice to get another rail crane going too. But, yeah, and then the other thing is, we just have to get this built before we could even build another rail crane to go start working over here. But I can't really get the rail crane in unless he builds his way down and then where he can turn around and come back in here. And I think wasn't I struggling to try to get this? I don't think I can get this attached, can I? Or do we just buy another rail crane for down here? So I think I'm going to struggle to get that. In other words, I can't send the rail crane into this one even if it was built. It's too steep a hill. Can I get it from here maybe? Yeah, see, too steep. Oh, there was a little promise there. Yeah, look, that's green. Yeah, no, come on. I'll take that. There you go. Yeah, because I don't even know of a way to cheat to get that in there, right? If you can't drive it in, that's good. So we can get that guy, we can at least, if we decide to, not have to buy another rail crane and we can start working on this. Oh, yeah. No, I appreciate it, Antonio. Yeah, and it's going up. I think the biggest thing that we have is that we're not... it's sort of, if you go and spend all that money on all those trucks to haul it all the way up to the border and you're getting just such a little bit, there's not going to be a huge payback. We may just be better off waiting, and getting a regular steel train going. Now, and keep in mind, when that one truck gets up there, I think we could probably do another steel truck, to be honest. Yeah, let's do another steel truck. Our money's going up, and then, just doing the math there where it's going to be 25,000. You know what, we could probably even click on this and see. Geez, we do have... Yeah, or wait, did that guy have steel on him? No, a little bit. Come on. It's got to be one of them. There you go. Custom house, but he's empty. Okay, so that's, look at that. Our money just shot up. We can even tell by looking here. So that's 16 tons we sold for 21,000. Almost 22,000. Yeah. Antonio, I think we're going to take you up on your idea and sell a little bit of our steel off. As long as it's not affecting our construction. it's I think a good enough money maker. Oops. Do we want to get 2? Yeah, let's get 2. We'll use an open haul someplace else too. All right, load up some steel. I guess you should wait to load your steel, shouldn't you? Just in case. Unload anything. Give your partner the same plan. Why don't we space them out a little bit so we don't end up with a traffic jam. We've got quite a few trucks pulling into here, I think. Now, the other smart thing to do might be to send them to these depots, but the problem is they end up emptying themselves out, and then they drive all the way up there with like nothing in them. But if you don't want to micromanage, you could say, okay, drop off your stuff here and then head out, just to make sure you didn't, sell all your steel off so you didn't have any. So let's get his partner going. Good. Very nice. All right, so that should rack up. Look, how did we get down to 150? What are we purchasing? Oops. Yeah, thank you, Rotzko. I kind of thought about that, and then I couldn't find a darn truck that I was looking for, and then I noticed that he was empty anyway, so then I thought, well, we can jump over here and see how much we sold last month. But yeah, oh, you know what? The money went down because I bought those 2 trucks. But food is definitely kind of becoming an issue here, and clothes is an issue, so it's really... Yeah, our little busing system is poor at best. Right, and then part of the problem is these buses are all coming at the same, or did they get spaced out again? Yeah, they got spaced out again. Yeah, see, we only have 12 people waiting here. That is another issue. We don't have like 80 million extra people. I think one of the things, didn't we... Yes, this is small 3. Okay, so this guy's saying that's the regular bus platform. Yeah, why don't we send these people to work at small 3 as well? Just want to make sure, though, we have... Yeah, we need to keep... oh, you know what? Look at that. Man, that's a big house. Those things make me laugh. I'm sorry. They're so retardedly big, like, and skinny and tall. But I mean, I appreciate it. It's the kind of craziness that you should have in a game, like, I just, sorry. I'll calm down. Well, I guess we should get some people over here, huh? And I don't know if it makes too much difference, but yeah, this one, that one's not full. Let's take this one because they're kind of full. Now, I think they would just move over there on their own, right? And the reason what I'm concerned with here is that we wouldn't have people to work the town, right? I want to make sure we keep people that can work in town there. And these people will more be towards getting passenger or workers for the train and for the steel by train and so then we could talk about, well, and then eventually we could even get, we'll have a bus or train stop here and we'll have a train stop here where we can get people up here with train. Yeah, so let's see. We got those 3, as far as your suggestion, Antonio, we got those 3 trucks. That should be, each time one of them goes up there and back, that should be 60 grand or something in that ballpark. And that'll be nice moolah coming in. And then we'll keep an eye on this. Yeah, our bitumen, it's kind of perfect in a sense. And our fuel, yeah, we're pretty close to balance there. Now, how are we doing with the oil? Yeah, see, we're not taking full advantage of the people over here either, are we? Now, what do we have? Bus. Oops, I meant to click on that. How many buses do we have here? And then we just hold. Yeah, we only have like 2 buses. Yeah, they both hold 80 people, so it's a fair number of people getting over here, but yeah, see, we're dipping down. We have to have the 80 here as well. There you go. He took all of them. They wait, what, an hour? They don't wait long enough in some ways, I think, here before they say, screw it, I'm not going to work today. That'd be nice. Your bus just doesn't come on time. You say, the heck with it. Turn off this wireframe. Sorry about leaving that on. What are you guys working on? You're not doing anything, are you? Now, you were a helper station anyway. Is there anything over here to help her with? Meaning we just have a bunch of trucks. That's where we spent our money. Getting this going faster. We bought all those trucks. But that's all right. Look, we're jumping up as those steel trucks get up there. And plus, like I said, I think we're building up a little bit of extra fuel. We probably could set... You're a bitumen. You know what? Let's set the full fleet back on to work. All of our cisterns, get back to it. There we go. Good. I just didn't want to, dry us up of fuel for our domestic purposes. So there we go. All of our cisterns are back to work. I could have stolen... I didn't have to buy those trucks, did I? I could have stolen them out of here. Yeah, but are the buildings in your town? I mean, yeah, I have a building not too far from me that's like 15 stories. That's 21 stories, but look how skinny it is. It's like, it's like an apartment wide in a sense. It's like if you had a center elevator, well, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like one apartment. There's not even like a hallway in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I mean, I know there's big, tall buildings, but this just seems like it's extremely tall and skinny. And plus, holding 300 people in this game, it's a bit OP at that point, Not totally, but oh, you know what? Stop going there. Yeah. It would be nice if you could change some of the settings before some of that kind of stuff is built, but we have people going here, passengers, so that's not helping. That's not helping. What do we have? Yeah, see, some of these buses, I don't really want to turn them off. Do we? Yeah, I think we do have a bus that takes people here. I just hate to add to the traffic jam. Yeah, look at all the workers waiting. But we got buses. I can't get the workers fast enough. Quickly. Maybe they can. Yeah, we definitely could get more people out of here, though, couldn't we? Well, maybe not. Where are you going? Oh, you're a worker. You're taking workers. Yeah, I think we're doing, we're doing okay. We just have to be a little bit patient with things. So somebody's building railroads again. Yep, this guy got done these bridges. Good. So I think what I'll do, yeah, I'd like to get to this other rail construction, or do we maybe take a vote? What do you guys think? Do we start working on getting, I mean, we're really right now, we're holding our own, maybe not quite fully, but we're, we are exporting a lot of this. So I don't know, what do you guys think is the most urgent? Getting trains going over here? The steel part will be connected, so we can get trains into the steel, then, or do we start building our export line? Start building this all the way out to there, which would be quite a long project. Or do we start building over to here? Now, none of it really matters. I mean, I guess I would have to vote. If my tie-breaking vote would probably be to get this built out this way, so that no matter what we decide next, the only other debate I'd have is getting passengers up to our clothing and not have to buy the buses, I guess. Because we don't really even have the bus stops here at this point. Yeah, that's another problem. Yeah, so I guess the debate for me would be getting this done where we get this passenger loop done and we can start properly firing this industry up. But then again, that's going to cost us trains that aren't making us any money. Or do we just get a steel train going, I guess would be the other, where we can hopefully not deprive ourselves of steel, but at the same time load up at least a small steel train and start exporting more of that. Yeah, see, look, now we're getting down to 127 steel, which is okay. I don't mind that we're not at 150% or 150 tons. Or maybe that was just coincidence because the truck pulled in to take stuff away. Yeah, it might have just been bad timing on my looking. That's good. I'm glad we're making it. We're not wasting, we're making money selling excess steel. I'm okay with that. Are we buying brick? Or where are we buying brick? It's not the way to... When did we buy brick last month? Yeah, we did buy some bricks. So where are we buying bricks? These guys wouldn't be buying anything. Sources without prefab panels. Okay. Why is that? Just because we're using them? Okay, I have a solution for that. Let's take this guy, send him over to there real quick, and we can have him. He's there to help construction anyway, right? So why don't we start you out? It just must be too long a trip by the time they get back and forth and we're building those 21-story things. Now, hopefully we don't leave them on there forever. Hello, Off the Rails. Welcome, by the way. At the rail yard. Yeah, and I'm not making, like, hats off to the mod maker, right? I mean, games should be... I appreciate what the developers did with the game balancing, but mod makers should throw the balancing off a little bit with 21-story buildings that make me laugh, And it's just my weird sense of humor, I guess you could say, too. So, it's not... There's no insult meant to anyone when I laugh at this building, that's for sure. I like it, that's why I'm laughing. And I guess I've played the game enough hours, I'm used to looking at, all of these buildings, and when one of those catches my eyes, it's like, whoa, okay. Hello, I am. Nice name. Welcome to the stream. Buying brick at the rail yard. That is something I didn't check. Yes. As a matter of fact, we are buying... Yeah, let's just knock this back down. Part of the problem is I'm only storing a little bit of brick. Yeah, I don't mind if we back up our... no, you know what? Let's just cancel it all. Oops. Can't save. Must be it. Electrical components. We needed those. Yeah, and those I think we'll do the max on those. Just because... Like... Well, you know what? We probably didn't need to do the max, did we? Because we're not making any electrical tracks anyhow. So, never mind. Let's cancel that. If we need to go back and purchase them, we will. Don't delete them. Yeah, we don't need to buy that. Good thinking. Thank you, Rotzko. And now let's just check. Let's just double check that we have a bricks truck. Yep, there's our prefab panels truck. Now we might have the same issue. Are we just not... Yeah, let's get another... Well, it could just be a timing thing. I don't want to get too many trucks going into the... Like, you got to watch out, because what'll happen is... If you're not using all the stuff up, like, you can end up with, like, too many prefab panel trucks sitting over there blocking something else that you actually needed. So it's sort of good to not have too much going in and out of there. Like right now, all the trucks are just sitting there waiting. See, because we have 2 steel trucks, we have to use some prefab. We have to use some steel before the prefab panels can get in there. And it's one of the reasons that I'll tend to take the wood guy. Is this a wood guy? Well, we don't have a wood thing. Like, it's another reason to just go ahead and maybe buy the wood is... You know, if we put another prefabs truck... Yeah, the problem is we have 3 steel trucks coming here, huh? You know what we could do? Let's get another prefab panels guy to drive directly into the thing. Once he gets parked up, we'll... Right, because we should just have buses coming in here, so we should have an extra slot. Oh, what happened there? Yeah, see, you gotta wait for them to get parked up. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna do that. And then we gotta... I just want to put them in the right order, because it's 8/10 of disease, and I put them in the... So, right, so that should get us, yeah, see, this is the problem. So we have our next load of prefab panels, but because we have those steel trucks waiting in there, yeah, so why don't we send this guy... Yeah, this is just a little one anyway. Lesser efficient. Do we want to send it back just on his next... Yeah, let's just keep him going. But I don't want to sit there micromanaging that the whole time either. And I'm thinking we maybe don't need 3 steel trucks, so we're going to send them here. Even though he'll have steel in them, and that's a little bit annoying. So we'll see if we keep up fine. So we'll have 2 prefab panels and 2 steel trucks, and we'll just keep an eye on that. Good, we're getting the bridge built. Oh, yeah, I didn't use the 20 vehicle. Was the 20? Let's just take a look at that while we got a chance. Yeah, it's not very expensive at all. Yeah, you're right. I need to build the 20 vehicle. Well, we didn't have it when I first started the map, but you're right. At some point, I probably... Yeah, well, this was never going to be a construction office, I guess. Well, the next time we go to build a town, I definitely, if I forget, try to remind me. But, like, I guess I don't know that I would have built it here because I just wanted this to be able to build those darn railroad tracks, right? And I don't necessarily plan on any construction up this way unless we talk about something that we haven't planned yet. So I guess I would build it the next time. And then I think these, I don't know if I had gathered the mods at that point. Let's get this being built. Yeah, let's get both of those open. And then, is there anything else over here to build? There's that. There's this. That one's built. It doesn't connect. Well, that's a problem. Yeah, let's this should just be, I like to put gravel roads. I think they're fair, like, you know, I mean, dirt roads are rough in real life. What is this? Oh, that's that bridge that goes, yeah, for our other loop. Okay, good. So we'll get, okay, I almost thought a building was on fire, but it's not. You should have found that automatically, right? And you might as well help him with that. And you both could work on that. It's going to be a while before we get that done. Now, is everything else down in here built? Yeah, we've got power, right? Well, that building's not complaining about not having it. No workers, no crops. Yeah, we don't have any bus stops up here as it is. I mean, we have them over here, but they won't help us with our clothing. How are our trains doing? Did we get this straightened out a little bit? Now we got all the... Yeah, now we have everything we need. So I think that's... Yeah, I think that's better that we don't have that steel blocking the prefab panels. Plus we got them in both places. If we have to jam another truck into here... I guess we could, but look, we're up to 380,000, so we can at least afford a locomotive, which is good because we still have a little time before we'd ever get to actually building a train. Now, the question is, do we think we have enough money to buy our first train? Oh, look, we're dilly-dallying. All right, did we get any votes on whether we should build up this way? What do you think? Should I build this way first, or should we build the clothing loop and get that attached first? Would be my 2 votes. Or we could just build over towards the oil, which I don't really want to do first because, heck, we got all those oil cisterns working for us. We might as well keep them busy a little while longer. And I think we're exporting the vast majority already of our oil that we're making, our fuel and bitumen. And hello, Simon and Steve. Welcome, both of you guys, to the stream. Did I check coal at the steel plant? It was about to run out. No, we are all jammed up. Which this, being all jammed up, is leading me to think that we should maybe lean towards building our export first. What do you guys think? Do you agree? We'll get this built towards... Because either way, you know, the real purpose of this train line... And if we're doing that well with our money beforehand, then we can start doing the clothing. Does that sound fair? If you guys don't have a strong opinion. Which one is this guy working on? He's on the left-hand track, so I'll send this guy out on the right-hand track. Right there. All right, so he'll start building our railroad up to that way, and then we'll let this guy keep going this way, or do we switch them both at this point? Maybe we just switch them both. Close. Okay, well, we got to close. Okay, we'll stick with close, even though I just put. How about we split 50-50? Go for the border. Yeah, there we go. We have to have 2 dissenting votes at least. You don't get to vote twice, Dennis. Even though I don't. I mean, I guess I figured out trams vor closes. Or I'm not sure how you say CJ. That's not an American thing. Like we just never have a C and a J normally next to each other. Yeah, well, we're kind of doing a 50-50 thing, and then the question is, our money is all of a sudden feels like it rebounded and a half, right? It was. I mean, I felt like we were really struggling for the first hour of the stream here, and then now all of a sudden we're bopping up. And it might just be because we got all the cisterns going, you know, like those trucks are steady exporting some of the steel. And okay. Well, German has most of the same letters, right? I mean, you guys just have a couple extra umlauts and whatnot that you get to use that we don't, but you guys don't have any letters. If you say some of the words different, like V is W and W is V, depending on how you look at that. Yeah, German, well, English comes from German, so it makes sense that a lot of the sounds would be pretty darn similar. Yeah, so why don't we build... Yeah, we could even consider with their money going up that fast. I'd like to get it spent, you know, and we do have the excess steel, so it's not like at this point we can't ramp up our rail building capabilities. But then again, I don't want to ramp it up so far because once we get these built, I don't know what we're going to do next, but I don't necessarily want to... If you guys have noticed, I don't like wasting money on vehicles that I don't think I'm going to use again. Not that it's a waste, but then again, having 4 rail constructions I don't think is unreasonable. There we go. Look, we can get that built the other way, and then this is almost done. So we'll get back to using a proper bridge. Look at the train, look at the trucks on there. Yeah, I think well, now my whole, I don't want to call it panic, but my whole consternation has gone away now that our money's rolling up as a general statement. I think it was thanks to Antonio's suggestion that I just start exporting steel. And I know that was something Steve has suggested in past episodes as well. So, like, you know, we're jammed up on our steel mill. I mean, why don't we buy another rail construction? What do you guys think of that? I mean, we got the steel, which is our biggest thing. We got the prefab panels. You know, if you look at the cost of these, we make our own gravel. Yeah, how are we doing on gravel? Are we? Because you do have to watch that. It will become an issue if you ramp up too much construction. But I think we're doing pretty well. And we only have 1 quarry go, and we could talk about building another quarry. Now, are we staying? Yeah, see, we definitely could do more with this. Yeah, we could definitely pump out more gravel. I think we'd probably need another quarry. Now, there's a funny thing. If you guys... I don't know, did they fix that? Oh, they must have fixed it. Yeah, I think they fixed it. The trucks used to fill up, like when this guy was going to unload. And it looks like they stopped that from happening. Now the problem is, will he be able to get back in there? Oh no, look, it did. See? See, the truck's filling up, but the guy is still down here. I don't know if you guys can see that well, especially if you're on your tablet, but look, the trucks are still going. And our excavator went to go get fuel. Which is good, because otherwise if they didn't do that, this guy wouldn't be able to get back in. You know, there's only one road in, and if the trucks blocked them. Yeah, so I don't think we could get any more trucks out of that quarry. Maybe one more. Like, we're pretty steady. Yeah, see, that truck shows up. The next one, I don't know if you guys can see that, but yeah, we could possibly put one more truck on there. Yeah, we're not that, it's not that big a deal. We've got enough. But I think we have enough gravel. We've got enough prefabs. We could buy another, oops, where am I going? We could buy another train if you guys thought, because we're up to 500. What do you think? Hello, Julian? Should I call you Yuli? Is that all right? Welcome. I'm glad to see you at the stream. Hopefully you've, I don't know if you're familiar with Workers and Resources, but we've been doing the live stream many Saturdays now. 18, I think, on this playthrough. Yeah, no, we're definitely, our problem is getting more people here, so we should probably consider whether we're losing people at this bus stop and maybe get another bus on there. I think we got the money, right? Yeah, see, look, that takes it all the way down to... Well, see, some of these buses are coming in here for, like, students and stuff, so... We have 2 buses going over to here. And I didn't... remember, originally, we had 72,000 trucks coming into here. It was a big traffic jam, so we built this bus stop, which I think is fine. But I don't think it makes any real difference how they get in there like that. See, and that is not a long bus trip. Like, those buses shouldn't be waiting. I think it's just a matter of people. You know, like, we still don't have 8 million people in our town. You know, like, our town is not full. How is our old population? Look, we're up to 6,000. So that's sort of a bit of an issue for us, is just enough workers to deal with the oil. Because we're exporting... we're not exporting everything we can, which is why, you know, we have this train line here. So, let's see, do we have any... Well, welcome from Russia. I don't know if we have any... We have many European here. I don't know if we have any regular Russians that show up to watch us. But we're well represented throughout America and Europe. So I'm glad to have a Russian watching. We get a different opinion. What is this? Oh, you know what? Let's build a fire station. Oh, why would we have 2? Well, that's a fire truck, but do we have people here? Yeah, you know what? We don't need a fire station there. I don't know how did we end up with 2, other than let's get rid of the little road. That's not how you get rid of roads. Oops. Yeah, we don't need 2 fire stations. And this one's better suited to reach all the way out here and get these oil rigs. There we go. Look, I just saw our bridge get done. So we just have this little stretch of road here. Now, is this guy going out there to work on it? Oops, wrong one. Why don't you go help him? Yeah, I think... Uh-oh. We got a fire. Yep, we got put out. Good. Yeah, I don't think it would be too close to the pollution. Do we have a monitor here? No, I don't think we don't have a pollution monitor here, do we? You know, I'm just sort of right where Nanadton is written there. Let me go with the building that makes me smile. Where do we put the graffiti? 174 graffiti workers. Well, that's kind of a long building, isn't it? Yeah, see, we couldn't get it up here. That's part of the problem, is this darn power line. But, you know what, I think I would, maybe we do like this. Like as close reasonably as we can get it to the church. We'd like to get a path off the back. We do need to think about paving the roads in town. Yeah, I think if I put it, like, say here, we could... Yeah, you know what? I think we really want to... Let me connect on the end. Stupid railroad. Yeah, so you're not going to let me go anywhere but like there. Yeah, it's either there or there, and it's not going to let me do that. Yeah, that's... Yeah, if I'm going to do that, I might as well do that and just... that, right? There we go. Now these guys should auto pick up that. Yeah, I don't want it. We have this guy help. He's just a helper crew anyway with dumpers and whatnot. So, oops. Yeah, he should be auto searching everything anyway. Good. So I didn't really need to do that, did I? And this guy's auto searching just roads. So there we go. So we'll get one of this. All that was one of yours, right, off the rail. I think it is, if he's still here and listening. So we'll see what the graffiti building looks like. This could be like the bad side of town, right? Right next to the church. We'll have the crack house near the church. That's not right. Anyway. And then I guess we should really talk about moving that power line. I don't want to get too close to the pollution. We should probably... Yeah, maybe we get a pollution monitor in here just so we can see. Let's do that. Things people need. Can we get it? Can I level a bit and get it in there? No, let me level. Let's just find a spot. There we go. All right, so they should start building that footpath. So we'll get a pollution monitor, and we'll kind of see, because we got all this oil stuff here. That'll give us an idea where we can see down here. Yeah, cool. Well, there you go. We'll have your mod in here pretty shortly, which is cool. And let's buy another one of these, because we've got enough money. And so I think that getting the clothing had the most votes. And purchase resources. No, purchase, buy a new train or mechanism. Ouch. Okay. So now... Well, the thing I think, too, if we get this guy building... Oop, doesn't connect. Now, this guy's going to take up a lot of bricks. Let's see how it goes. Right. Where are we? What else are we working on? What is this one? Railroad 13, yes. Yeah, this is Railroad 13, so good. We're working on both of these now. We'll just get these down to here, and then we can get them started over here, which means we should probably steal some more vehicles out of this, I think. What do we look at that? Yeah, see, this is part of our problem. Yeah, well, I guess you could say it should have been a big bus stop, but that was back in the days we were super poor. That's a dumper. Well, we'll need a couple dumpers. Well, we'll need one dumper. let's just go with 1, because I think that these supplies are pretty close. You know what? I'm not going to steal the only open haul from here. Let's just go buy what we need over here. We'll just steal the 1 dumper. I don't, you know, we'll get by. All right, so the dumper is going to go from. What is your problem? Oh, you need to be sent to a depot, huh? All right, come on over here. So what do we need? We need prefabs, bricks, and steel. So, open hauls. Well, there goes a lot of money, but that's all right. We'll make more progress. All right, so while we're waiting for the dumper to get over here, we will get. I think, yeah, we're already running prefabs over to here, so we can. Right, so there's prefabs. Bricks. Right. No, you know what? I think we want to take bricks from here, actually. I think this is the one that has the. Yeah, this. I think we just want to empty the bricks out of here. Let's empty the bricks out of here first. Now that I'm. So we are going to go to there, but I don't know which one is which. All right, so it'll be the one under this one. Right, I think I got that straight. Doesn't matter. I can always change it. This needs to be load. Yeah, there shouldn't be any more bricks being dropped off in that one. We'll see. So we can get that one emptied out of bricks. That's where we were. Oh, or are we bringing? Oh, that's right. We built this, and I don't think we're taking advantage of it, huh? Let's just confirm. Steel, bricks. Yeah. All right. So, and this will be prefabs and wood. We don't have any vehicles going into there. So let's take. Yeah, that guy's loading up bricks. That's this guy right here. And then I want you to go to this second place, wait, and you can get started. And as far as... I'm confused. Village open storage. So this guy is unloading into here. Why would you... Oh, no, this guy's going on the other... So we're bringing bricks to both places. Let's just bring bricks to the one. All right. Let's open haul, prefab panels, and wood, which we're not buying wood, so this will just basically be prefab panels. Good. So that's 2 prefab panel trucks. One is loading here. Yeah, these are both bringing stuff over. That's that one. Sometimes it's... Yeah, so this is the brick factory. I don't want him going to here anymore. I want him to come into here. And unload. And wait. Right? And then... This guy is taking it from and going over to there... And did I get him started, right? Yeah. So he should be bringing bricks. And we should now have bricks in here. Yes, we have bricks, prefab. So what we don't have is any steel. And I think I straightened all that out, right? Let's just... And I know I have this guy. There's our dumper. And there's our steel guy. So steel will definitely come from here. And go to here. There. Is that straight? I know I confused myself. Would be surprised if I didn't confuse you guys. This needs to go to here. I could set these to this, but there's really not much chance he's going to get anything else. You can wait. All right, we'll see how we make out with that, because he only has to drive around here to get that gravel, so I would think he should be able to keep up with that. Same thing with these guys. They're not really going that far. And our bricks guy, when we get a chance, should empty this out, so we should probably... Right, like empty that out. I guess we could just leave the steel in there for now. We'll get 33% of that. Yeah, we'll leave room for boards. Yeah, I think we'll be okay with that. So this will be where we should be able to store a few more. Yeah, let's, I don't know, a few more bricks. Good. So when we do get built around to here, we should be good to go to set up a train building out of this area, or rail construction crane, that is. And are we done? No. What are we waiting on? Waiting on the mechanism. Is he driving there the slow way or something? I don't know. I don't see him. Sometimes they do some goofy things. But anyway, we'll get that. That'll be... Oh, there's some more people coming to work there. Good. See you later, Roscoe. Or wait, are you saying goodbye to somebody else? Hello, Rever. Welcome, Mike. Okay. Yep, so you're just working on roads. So we really don't have... We have a lot of construction vehicles that aren't... Or construction... We don't really have a big construction project going on. To be honest. I guess we really need to consider what we're going to do next. As far as... I mean, we can build some more houses and whatnot, but there's not a huge rush. We could take a few people out of here maybe and spread them into here. Yeah, this one's full. All right, yeah, that one only has 20, so we get a few more. Do we have any plus 21-year-olds? Nope, not a one. Yeah, I don't know if we've ever had a plus 21-year-old still living with his parents or her parents. Yep, this is all done. And all of this is built. Oh, this isn't built. Okay, there you go. You guys can work on that. Now, I'm not in a super duper rush to do another construction just because, we can let our population build up here a bit. I don't really think we have enough people to take care of all the businesses that we do already, but so I don't think it's earth-shattering if we didn't do any more. Yep. Take care, Rotsko, if you're still there. I did figure out that it was probably you saying goodbye. Hope everything goes well. And hello, Yuri. Welcome to the stream. Glad you could make it. We got off to a little bit of a late start today. Yeah, there we go. We're building our rail tracks out this way. And we're getting these two things built. That's like the main things going on. But we're also saving up. I don't know. I'd like to see at least 700,000. Now, how are we doing on our steel? We'll probably take this minute to look at our economy in general. Like, are we getting any more people? Yeah, see, I think we got... See, the buses are back to back again. And they're the same exact buses. I really wish there was a way to stagger them. It would really be game changing. And that's the benefit to these trains, is that we can leave a gap. Like, we don't have to put any signaling in between here and say when they get all the way back over here or something, so that they at least have a certain minimal gap in between them. Heck, it might even be worth building like a big loop on. I wouldn't want to do it when they're heading out with passengers, but you could put like a big loop on here if you had to. Have them drive around in a big circle before they head back, just to make sure they had, a nice steady gap in between each train. Plus, once you gap them, you can always add a few more trains and then, force that gap into the train line by signaling. Yeah, our population, I didn't really look when we first started. It doesn't seem like it's going up massively, but let's look at this year. Oh, it's January 9th, so that is this year. Unfortunately, look, we're steady, steady climbing. Our population issues, so last year we went up to 6,645, and we started out at 6,000, or 5,994. So we are definitely, we went up 10%, like we talked about originally. So we're doing well. I mean, it's just, not as fast as you might like in some circumstances, which is kind of a good sign. I mean, we did a lot of building, and, now the other thing to say is thinking about what we would do next as far as industries go. How are we doing with our school over here? Make sure there's no. Why don't we research something? Electronic circuits, because why not? Get that off the list. Can we do two different researches? I never really. Yeah, no research available, so I guess you can only do one in one school. So we have a lot of people waiting for professors. Let me just up that a bit. I don't think we're so critical that we can't go with, say, 30 professors, right? Just to try to, why not get them all educated? 10 extra people being professors won't kill us. I don't see a lot of rail cranes doing work. But they don't have enough bricks. No workers, no bricks. Is this the same story here? Rail construction office. Rail construction office. You know what I mean? You just get them, they're back to back. I mean, it's just, it's a very frustrating. Look at them, this one's going to get gas, and they're both going to get, they're on the same exact cycle. And again, you can sit there and try to micromanage them to your heart's content, but there's just no way to get them. You'd see, because what happens is you get when your bus stop gets too busy or just anything goes wrong, they just all pile up right here, and they all pile in there, and yeah, it would be really nice to have a mechanism of some sort to be able to straighten that out, even if it was fiddly. But I don't know what to do about that as far as providing people. No idea. How are we doing? We still could sell off more steel. If we get up to 1 million, we definitely need to consider our next construction project. Probably before we get up to 1 million, but let's take a look, see if our economy dictates. I think at some point we're going to be self-sufficient. We got the clothing going, right? Or, well, we'll get it going soon. Hopefully soon. Probably realistically next week. Then the other thing is, do we get another rail construction? I mean, I don't see why we wouldn't. We're not going to get any of this done before we probably get up to $1 million. But let's see. What are we purchasing? Clothes. You know, again, look, see, we're not purchasing food right this minute. And if you look, it's like up and down. So it's just sort of sporadic is the problem. We just have to get it more consistent. And I think the trains will go a long way to that. Electronics, we're sort of a ways off in some respects to get the electronics going. Alcohol, we just have the one pub. I'm not planning on building any more pubs. They don't help people. Cement. Why would we be buying cement? Are we buying cement here? Yes. You know what? We don't have a cement truck, do we? We shouldn't be buying cement. Let's fix that. Come here. Cement tank. Always the biggest one. Alright, so we can get cement out of here, right? And now I like the fact that you can have these guys sit in here and wait. And then hopefully that doesn't bite us before this guy gets over here, but and then the other thing is, you know, you have enough of a buffer in there, so it's not all of the areas are as nice with the buffer, and you know, we should be okay with that buffer. And now we got a cement truck, so that's good. So we'll stop buying cement. That wasn't much of a economic fix, was it? Yeah, the pubs are kind of evil. I mean, they really do you more harm than good, I think. Yeah, we bought a little bit of meat. You know, most of what we're buying is, I guess, you know, could we work towards electronics? That's sort of a massive project in the sense of, you know, we need to get plastics and electrical components. But electrical components are wonderful for electrifying our rail tracks. Yeah, it would be nice to get the food. I mean, that's why I think, you know, half of you guys voted towards getting down here. So I think what we should do is buy another mechanism and put it down here and start getting this built. What do you think? We don't have any gravel. Why don't we have gravel? Building is without power supply. Really? How about this one? Oh, yeah. You know what? I think we said something about that, didn't we? Okay, well, let's do... Yeah, it's kind of going to be the one building that needs power up here, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, it's just these couple buildings, unfortunately, because all these... Yeah, these are good to go down here, so we're just going to have to build a transformer, I guess, for this one thing without blocking anybody else up. You know, use this one, I guess, on this side. Can we get... No, that won't go, will it? Kind of an awkward thing there, isn't it? You know, I think I'm just going to, like, put it... Why don't I just put it up here? No, because the power lines are right there. It really, truly is an awkward thing trying to build one this close. Can I put it under there? No. I can put it here. Can you get in? No, you can't get... I couldn't get a road in through here, I don't think. You wouldn't think it'd be that complicated, would you? Because I can't make it too... I think I'm just going to put it like here. right? And then we'll just have to do whatever we have to do to get a road over to it. Okay. Come over this way. No. Look at that. That was goofiness. No, it doesn't like coming up that hill. Why don't we go around the block, around the power lines? Right. Let's get those assigned. Good. Yeah, the pubs in this game, they could use some improvement where they had, I mean, I guess they might have some weird benefit, but you really have to want to have pubs. And it's sort of, I don't know, you would think it would just contribute to the happiness more than it would cause everybody to die, you know? Like, whoever made the game has a very negative view of alcohol, I guess. Or if they don't, they certainly made it a very negative thing in the game anyway. There we go. So, all right, so we'll have power up to here soon. And yeah, now I kind of want to wait and hold off on buying that till, like, I don't want to buy it down here and then, you know, because yeah, I guess I don't know how much difference it makes. Now, I want to buy it coming out of here. That way we can get them started building this way. I think that'll be better. Oh, you know what? We don't have people. Yeah, we're going to need to get a bus over here, too, and a cistern. How are we doing with our oil? Yeah, I think soon we're going to be shutting down for lack of exporting enough oil as it is. I really don't want to buy too many. Oh, you know what? What's going on? Why don't I? Okay, you're still flowing. I didn't see any oil trucks. I was afraid we had a traffic jam. Yeah, we've got a steady line of them. All right. Well, I guess we can sell off the cisterns if we end up with 700 of them that we don't need. We might need to just build another road depot someplace to park them all up. Oh, look, we could start getting the KMZ, though. Yeah, you know what I think I'll do? I know this is kind of... I want to find one of the fuel ones here. That's a bitumen one, of course. Yeah, you know what? You go back to here, but copy your course to him. So I'd rather send the more efficient truck up to the border with a bigger 16-ton load, and then this little guy, we can switch his thing around to go to here and then load fuel, and we'll get him to come up to this one and unload and wait. Start. Good. I don't know if that was the best way to do that. Probably could have just let him run his regular route rather than go back to the depot now that I think about it, but that's all right. We'll deal with it, right? There we go. So we got a little bit more efficient truck heading up to the border, and we just sort of stole the one. So we got that going. Then we need to get people there. I guess we should hold off. I could get the buses set up. We want one or two buses. Probably two, just for the steady flow. But then are they just going to end up in the traffic jam and not doing very well? Now, what do we got going on here? Okay, you need to come here and unload and wait. Right, and then you are probably the same deal, aren't you? Yeah. We could just have copied that other guy's thing, but right, I think those are the only ones. Yeah, you're a construction one. You are the one that's taking stuff up to the rail, and you are just emptying this guy out of bricks. Good. Alright, so that stopped that little mini traffic jam. And then what was I going to do? I was going to buy a couple buses. Yeah, I mean, we might as well get just 2 whatever kind of buses. And I suppose we should send you to... do we have a bus stop over here? No, but I don't see an actual traffic jam here at the moment. So we'll have you come into there. And then let's copy your... Where am I at? Here we go. Let's let it get all fired up before we actually start these guys, which should be pretty shortly here, right? We got up, yeah, we have power to it. All right, so let's start one of them. We'll at least space them out to begin with, I guess. Hey, Fox Gaming, how are you today? You missed most of the stream. Probably nothing too much other than we're just making a lot of progress, I think, this week. Yeah, let's not have you auto search. No workers. Yeah, I don't know how far along the first bus is. Here he comes. So let's start the second one off. Yep, there we go. So we have workers. Do we have a rail crane coming out? Yes. Okay. So that means let's let this guy... This guy's not going to be able to build track going this, like this track right here. These two. So we'll let these guys get finished down to that point. And then one of them can go this way and start building this one and become the second train in here. And in the meantime, one of the other ones will set to doing the line going out, like the other side of this line. This guy's all the way up to here, which is not overly impressive, but at least, yeah, look, we don't have much gravel. Why don't we have, oh, because we probably just got power back, right? Where are we at? Did we just get power back and you're just doing everything you can to get us gravel over here, but we just don't have enough because he's too quick for you? Do we need to put another dumper over here? I think we might. I think we might. Well, the other thing is this guy will slow down a lot too. It's an awful quick trip. It's just that this guy's working really close to home. And as they get further and further, this one truck will keep up. Yeah, I think the one truck, let's just see what happens. As the guy gets further and further, like in other words, when they have to drive a long distance to do their work, it makes kind of a big difference. All right, so once this guy gets past here, we'll cancel his thing, and then we'll send him to work on the other one, and then these guys are going to come head to head. No, we get see, we got gravel in there. I think it might be a little bit limiting, but like I said, as he gets further away, it'll be less of an issue. Good. Well, we're making progress, and then. Yeah, eventually I don't know that I want him to have 2 different things that he's doing, like back and forth like he is. Because I think that he'll stop in funny places. Now, why is that other guy just stopped there? This one just doesn't seem to be. No workers, probably. I'm sorry, guys. How long was I muted for? 10 minutes? Anyway, what I was saying is I just put this down so that they can get back out, even if we're, like, so when we do put signaling in here and we got one ways and all that kind of thing, you know, we should have a reasonably good way of getting a rail crane into here. Now, even if we just make that temporary, we'll see. Maybe we won't even build it, but it's there now. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Was it more pleasant? Probably. I hope not. All right, so these houses are done being built. Do we just build the rest of them, I guess? We might as well, since they're already designed. Oh, that's right. We have our graffiti house, too, that we can... Yeah, let's just get these. Now that we've got pretty much all the other construction over here done. And that'll give us more than enough housing over here. Yeah, let's get the graffiti house. Oh, it is being worked on. Okay, good. How is the oil? Yeah, we're not, you know, we're still producing. We're not maxing out our oil, but look, we're getting 99, 100 people here. So, you know, and then when we get this house here, that'll be close enough to this station. And then we really probably should... We should probably consider replacing that power line. Yeah, it just comes off of the switch there. Now, what are you actually giving power to that somebody else isn't? Probably these buildings along here. Now, you could reach half a town, can't you? And we have another one here. Well, they're doing most of town. Oh, are we going to have power to... Yeah, we'll have power to that new building. And we should have another... Yeah, we have another here. Oops, I can't... Oh. Okay, so it's really just doing these couple buildings. Right? Because these guys would get covered by this one. This one would cover all of these buildings. It's just these couple buildings here that wouldn't have power. And the only one that actually needs it is this warehouse. Because your construction offices don't really need power. Neither do the road depots. Yeah, the problem with the construction offices and the power is that if you don't have a gas station, fuel station somewhere near them, then it becomes very inefficient. So, but you could build, you know, you don't have to build power near them. But again, if you don't have, and the fuel station needs that. So I guess what I'm saying too is we could kind of get rid of this, but then as soon as we did, we wouldn't have power to the place we're getting our electrical components from, which is kind of an issue, considering we need to rebuild the power lines. Yeah, so it's sort of a shame that that one building... What if we just put another one right here? Yeah, there's no other place that we could put electronic components either up here. Okay, so how are we doing? We're building tracks. We don't have any big issues. We've got this doing... Okay, so what are we going to do next? Are we going to do electronics? Well, we have the oil field over here. People had talked about building over by Lazicki there. Leszie. But I'm not sure what would we do with the people here. I mean, we did build a pollution monitoring, and it turns out that pollution is really, you know, it's into the town here, but it's not too much past, you know, like these houses right here. So like all of this side of town is fine as far as pollution goes, but then I don't really know what we would build here, and I don't want to... Well, if we got much busier, I don't know, would we want more room for road or rails? I don't know if we could always build a parallel one right along here if we really needed another rail through there. And the road seems to be doing fine the way it is. And the trucks went to it without telling them to. So I think we should leave this bridge here. If nothing else, it's getting our construction supplies over there pretty quickly. We could cut them across, I guess, but it is, I think, just going to be shorter to get the construction supplies that way. So yeah, I don't really know what we would do. I mean, I guess we could come up here with, you know, lumber or something. Not sure why we wouldn't maybe just do a lumber over here next to a bigger town. And this is probably all oil. Yeah, see, this is oil, so I don't know if we would ever have the town right there because we'd probably pollute the heck out of it. But I mean, heck, we could come all the way over to here with something. But there is oil there. There's a lot of iron over here and a little bit of, well, there's coal here, and then there is some coal over here. We could do more coal-related things here. But we already have our prefabs and our bricks and our cement, but we will need another power plant. How is our power plant doing? At some point in our lives. Yeah, well, our power plant is doing. We don't have a ton of people up there, but I don't think we're hurting for power either. How needs town if you can have nice infrastructure? Build chemical plants. Use some old houses and some new. Who damn? Oh, who needs towns if you can have nice infrastructure? Yeah. Well, you need towns. Just to get people. So yeah, I think, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think of the rule that you had, we're only going to take over existing towns? I think in general, I don't know. Are you guys agreeing or disagreeing with me that just while this is a fine town, it's just, what are we going to do over here that's that practical to do here? I mean, we don't really need to, we're going to have plenty of prefabs and bricks and cement. We don't really need any of the construction industries over here. If we take a look, agriculture, you could certainly argue that this farm is not going to be enough for all of our needs, but I would tend to think, do we build another farm up here? We might want to leave some of this flat ground for more farm, but we could possibly, this isn't quite big enough area here for a farm, but, this in the regular map is where we have the power plants and all that. There's some coal like right along here. I don't know if don't know if I want to block those resources with a farm. There's not much over here. Like we could definitely do a farm or a lumber kind of thing over in this area. Now lumber, I don't know. It just seems like it's just it's not useless, but it's probably the least useful of all the stuff here. I mean, we already kind of have a bit of livestock and meat and clothing, cement, alcohol, fuel, boards. Yeah, so we don't have boards. Iron, coal. Yeah, chemicals, as Steve was saying. And chemicals is nice because it leads to other things like the electronics. Yeah, so we really kind of have automotive, electronics, mechanical components. I mean, mechanical components make some sense because it's just a building. I mean, we could, without getting too close to town here. Yeah, how would we get people up there? I mean, I guess we'd have to work that out. We do have a train coming up this far. But if we were going to send our train right into the steel mill. But we could change that and put a train station like just right over here and then put a mechanical components. It might be a little awkward with getting stuff over to there. Actually, can we do? Let me just check something out. Is it various? Yeah, mechanical components. Yeah, look, we could just attach that guy right to the steel mill. Right, maybe even back here. And then just bring our, instead of, I know it's a wonderful idea to, well, we don't even have, it doesn't have to be, I don't know if we have power over here, but it's okay. We can, just want to give a little extra space around this thing. And the road's in a little bit of an awkward position there. Right, like if we had this back over here, we'd have to get the road in and out. Yeah, now would we take, just if we were to put this here, like we could just put it there temporarily. You know, the steel could come directly into it without having a thing, but then the question would be, how do we get the mechanical components in, or, you know, like, do we just get them in and out by truck at that point? It's not like you need 7 million mechanical components. And then if we wanted to export them, we could always just take them to like a rail depot in a sense. Right? Like we could use trucks to take them over to some kind of a train depot. What do you guys think? It's kind of growing on me. I mean, it's not much of a major building project, but it is. And then we could take, you know, a small train platform. Here, let's level out if we can. Don't get too close because it'll be too steep of a hill. But right, like everything doesn't have to be taken directly from the factory by rail. I mean, the only problem is I'm boxing in. Not the only problem, but one of the problems is I'm kind of boxing in my roads. Okay, I don't have a particularly good way to get the road over here. I could place a cargo station in between, but is there any benefit to that? Like, in other words, why not just have the steel go directly into the mechanical components? I mean, I guess there might be a... And, it, you know, like, you can't really control these darn... This game is not the best for controlling... like your inventory in there. It's also not the best for making nice circular. Yeah, that's not going to be enough leveled. Let's see, can I do this? Let's get it in the ballpark, and then we can. Oh, it might. Yeah, look, it actually connected. Let's just make it look like they're not about to fall directly off of a massive cliff. All right, and then the question would be, at that point, do we just... Is there a footpath issue with... Yeah, see, there's a footpath issue. We would have to get people in and out of here. Building in the way. All right, that sort of becomes a bit of a road issue. Yeah, well, why build it for steel to go through? Like, what would be the... Sure, that would work, but, like, why? You know, like... I mean, if I was going to build another cargo, it would probably be someplace... You know what? I'd probably start leveling this a bit to see if I can't get... Like, I would be more inclined to put the cargo for the mechanical components going out. Right? Like, if we were to put it, like, up here... Then we could get the mechanical components out that way, or we could even probably bring a rail in back on the backside one day. Or even put this here where we would then have the outgoing mechanical components. The problem that I don't like with this whole thing is that how do I get a road in and out of here, right? You know, like, I guess I can go across here. We got the power lines right there, and yeah, That's not going to let me cross, but we can get rid of that footpath. Because we could always make this a walkie road if we had to. Yeah, can we get the road, even though it's not going to be pretty? No. Angle is too sharp. Building is in the way. Yeah, we could. Some other infrastructure is in the way. Yeah, let's get rid of this railroad track. Some other infrastructure is in the way. Come on. There you go. Alright, well, it's up there anyway. Yeah, let me just bring it straight. Hopefully that doesn't mess with our... At least we got it up there. So does that make sense, Dennis? Or why would we put... Like, I don't know. I just don't see there. Like, I guess there could be a buffer of steel, but I don't know why we would put steel in a thing in that case. Like, if anything, I would tend to want. I don't know how much cargo do these. Do they tell you? Yeah, 17 tons of mechanical export. And what I'm thinking of is, you know, if we just exported them by truck, I'd kind of rather take them to some place like, I don't know, wherever down here, where we could then just load them onto the train, right? Like, as opposed to, until we get like train tracks back over this way, which is sort of a little bit of an issue. But this should be out of the way. Like, if we were going to bring train tracks through, we could always, in the future, build a warehouse over on this side to get mechanical components in. I need more crisscross on your railroad network that is easier than a loop. I'm not sure where you mean in particular. If anywhere, and yeah, I'm not sure why. What you mean? Yeah, I think I should level this up a bit. I think I should delete some of this plan. I think this track there was, yeah, this is kind of getting to be a mess. All right, and then can we come off of here? Not mess with the road. All right, so this would be in and out as necessary. You know, I think we'd give up on the, even though it was a fine thing to do. Oops, what am I doing? Trying to build railroad on top of railroad. All right, we're just not even going to worry about getting that one in. You know, I'd really like that to be a, you know, a bridge, but I don't know. It's sort of all jammed in there, isn't it? I mean, that does get us mechanical components, assuming we have, our power might be a little bit far away. I'm not sure. We might have to bring more power there. Well, I always have liked the turning loops. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, just for the reality of it. It just, I guess when I first started out, I wasn't very good at the game. And, well, when I first started out, the leveling was, was just a whole different thing. You know, like it just to level that out would have taken a lot longer in the beginning, so it was just easier to have them come in and out. But I guess as I've just gotten more comfortable at just laying the tracks down and better at it, like it's just not so tedious to try to do something like that. But if you look, like everything else is in a loop, right? I mean, this one's not, but it was sort of, you know, I mean, to try to go through there, I hadn't had that be a turning loop just because it was going into the steel mill. But everything else, I mean, I had the turning loops here, you know. Plus, I think, here's the other thing, too, is I've learned more about the game. Trains going backwards are very inefficient and cause a lot of traffic, right? Especially when you're on passenger things. So I think if you're seeing me doing it, you're also seeing me do it on passenger lines where I don't really care about how long it takes the train to return. I don't want that train returning interfering with the people coming in to go to work. Does that make sense? So yeah, maybe you're seeing that more, Dennis, because you're seeing me do it on the passengers, I think maybe. Yeah, I think that might be the answer to your question. Because if you notice, I didn't do it here, and I didn't do it here. Well, I did do it here, you know. But again, I don't know. It's a lot more realistic. Like, I think that it should almost be a rule, you know. But then again, the game should probably also have turntables. But again, these, you know, real trains don't just turn around and go the other way too easily. Certainly not to go in like a long run, like maybe rail work or yard work, you know, when they're working on loading the trains, they go back and forth. But, you know, on normal rails, you don't see them flip over instantly and head the other way. So. Yeah, exactly. And when it comes to like the passengers, to me, that's sort of a different scenario at that point. You know, I want to get these passengers up here as quickly as we can and to try to send them back, like, you know, and have the crisscross in front and those crisscrosses. So I'm not sure I am like exactly what you mean that I need more crisscrosses, because crisscrosses in this game are like evil. You know what I mean? Because they stop the trains going in both directions. Because this, unlike a lot of other games that just do it a little bit differently, like if I put a crisscross here, if a train's coming this way and another one's coming this way, one of them is going to stop the other one. So the crisscrosses are kind of horrible for that. Oops, you know what? We're not building here too efficiently. As in, we're not building here. Let's send him out on that one. He hit that station and stopped. Oops. All right, how are we doing over here? Well, I see one of them heading out. Yeah, we're building. Good. Yeah, we're getting that done. So I'm not sure, like I said, I'm not being argumentative there. I just don't know where you would want more crisscrosses and particularly why. Especially not on passenger things. Like I think we got this is enough intersections that we have to deal with, and if you notice, keeping the turning loops tends to not cross the tracks too, right? So like as they pull into here, they get passengers. They're not interfering with the trains going the other way because these don't touch each other, right? Like in other words, keeping these tracks completely separate. Any train on this track isn't going to get slowed down by the track over here. This is a bit of an issue, but because I didn't, you know, again, the idea of trying to jam these in without the turnarounds, and some of the reasons the turnarounds are here is because I wanted the steel train to be able to go to both of these and bring people up to the steel mill. And now probably it sounds like the mechanical components, and they had to have a way of turning around at that point without, just because I want more than one train on this track. Like, there was no way I was realistically going to not cause 10 tons of traffic. And I think it was actually much more efficient to do the turnaround. Yeah, though we do have some things to work out with this. I guess this is going to be a return loop coming down this way. They won't actually stop at those two stations. Yeah, they'll come around here and then they'll go that way. But see, when we have this crisscrossing here, you know, when we have this crossing of the track, any train coming back in or going out, like, you're going to have a lot more traffic in this game because the trains don't know their route, and there's no separation here between, this is all one block right there. Matter of fact, we do need to get a signal on here eventually. I'm not going to put it in, but we would need a signal there. Well, probably should, because we're already blocking that block, but maybe I will put it, you know, we'll need one here for the block. Well, I don't doubt that a crisscross is the most efficient when, like, and I'm not sure, that's what I'm asking, like, where would you put a crisscross is what I'm asking. Like, it's not clear to me where a crisscross in all of this would be more efficient. That's all. And like I said, that's not being argumentative. I don't know where I would put more crisscrosses in other words. And what particular benefit that they would have. As you mean, as opposed to, like, doing the loop around? I would disagree, because I don't care about the trains turning around going the other way, if that's what you're saying. Like, I don't care when they're returning how long it takes them to return. So when I do this, I'm going to return them around in a way that they're the least obstructive. In other words, like, because I can have 5 trains waiting in the turnaround. It's like, I want to get these people from here to here to here as quickly as possible. Right? I don't want them stopping or even getting, and if you look, they really won't get delayed by any train that's going the other way. Where if you put a crisscross in, they would get delayed, I guess is what I'm saying. But again, I'm kind of guessing at what you mean specifically at that point. That's, again, I'm going to commit to these things. It's nobody saying, no, that's horrible. The mechanical components, that is. So before I accidentally build things, or we'll just go there, and then we have a conveyor connection. That'll keep our guys busy after they get done over here for a little while. All right. Oops. All right, so we can get little mechanical components going. Now this guy might even have auto found that. No. But even if he didn't, we'll get them working on this. I'm working on the road too. Oops. Not assigned to pick up things from there. What was the message you had? Without prefab panels. Didn't we take care of that? Or do we do, like, load, unload? So you're coming with prefab panels. Yeah, we just don't have enough, huh? How are we doing in our rail construction? Well, we got some there. All right, I'll keep an eye on that. Yeah, let's just double check. They're both unload, load. All right. Yeah, okay. Just a matter of... There it goes, right there. I bet. Yep, good. But yeah, if you have a spot, that you're thinking of, just definitely let me know. I mean, I'm getting fairly good at these rail connections these days. I've done a number of them, Oops, this guy is now no longer working again. And I think I'm going to call it quits, even though this wasn't the longest stream because I got off to a late start. A friend of mine needed some help earlier and had a bit of an emergency going on. So hopefully I'll hear from him and I'll find out that he got all his power back an hour after I left, right? That would be the best news. Okay, look, we could build this train station. So yeah, this game's a little bit... It's a little bit different. If you come into it with transport fever in mind, well, you know what? We got a lot of railroads to build over here, don't we? Yeah, we can... Or railroad station, sorry. It's... And I don't know. You may have... I don't know how long you've been playing this game or... You know... It's the railroading in this game is just definitely a bit different, which hey, it's good. It's a different challenge, right? And it's not maybe as straightforward for people. And I think it's not that it's that hard. It's just if you have preconceived notions from other games, you could just really end up fist fighting with this one. Yes, the construction of the railroad is definitely a prime candidate for it. Now, the thing that we have going on here is that we don't have any signaling at all, right? So what is this guy doing? You know what? You need to... Yeah, you need to stop what you're doing. And then you need to... So we tried to assign 2 railroads over here, but we don't have 2 cars. Let's... Right, so what I want to do is... we want to assign this guy to build this one. Right? So then once he builds that one, he can actually be trained... We can get them in and out of here. Right? So let's cancel this one for now. Doesn't really matter. Yeah, we'll just have them build the one. But look, if you look, I have crisscross here. So we will, and there will be places that I definitely put the crisscrosses. And this is exactly, like, the crisscrosses really come in handy when you're building rails. And you're absolutely right. But if you look, I have no signaling, practically speaking. And the rail construction guys are doing a great job. It's once we start putting other trains on here that, you know, these guys will start conflicting with them. So we've kind of got this grace period where we have no trains interfering. But yeah, once we get regular trains running these tracks, we're definitely going to need to get, you know, crisscrosses in, especially for the construction purposes. And I've tried to do stations where you crisscross, you know, like not so much there, but like regular cargo stations where we would have like crisscrossing here. And that might be something that we should do, like, you know, coming in and out of here so that they can get to both of these things. Now, this is a little bit of an issue with the road right there. And then it's hard to put a crisscross in on the turn. So we probably need to do like a crisscross here, you know, just so it's the turns are a little bit awkward with the, which is probably okay. Now the other big problem is, you know what, now that I think about it, this train being in here might cause this to be a red signal. Yeah, that might be a significant issue. We'll test that out, but I have a feeling that might not work. We'll have to see. There you go. There's a crisscross. And I think a good place for one. And then we'll have, you know, I won't signal it the right way because then my trains couldn't get in here, but we would have, you know, regular signal in, or I'm sorry, chain signal in, regular signal back out the right way. And then we would have 2 regular signals here to let them come in and out of it. There you go. So there's absolutely a good place for a crisscross. But guys, I'm going to wrap it up. Again, even though the stream wasn't too long. And we didn't get too much done. But if you plan on coming back next week, think about what you would like to see built next. We'll get our mechanical components going. And we're really, there really is, I think Steve's right. I mean, it's kind of down to like chemicals and plastic. And that sort of leads me to want to be over here. I'm picturing chemicals and plastic and wood, which we need. And then, we need some crops for those things too. So maybe we like plan on another farm over here. Maybe even talk about a farm over here. Because we will be needing more and more food for that. And we probably should do like another corn loop kind of thing where we just leave the possibility that we could get corn over to our livestock, and we really only have this one bakery, which won't last us too long. And then there's the question of, how long do we go with this map? Do we have a particular end goal or whatnot? Do we want to do some crazy stuff? I don't know if maybe you guys are aware of mods that are out there that, I don't know, are they, I guess they haven't gotten to the point they've modded new things that you can make, new products, that's always cool when they get to that point where you can make, I don't know, pistachio nuts. I don't know what made that come into my head. I do like pistachio nuts, but what I really like is the kind that already are shelled. Anyway, yeah, and I still need to deal with this road, don't I? But I think what we're going to do is we're going to eliminate that by building a railroad track through here. So yeah, so I think next week we should be able to get most of the railroads done in here. I'm going to go ahead and pause it as a warning that we're about to sign off, right? And is there any last minute things that you guys think I should do? I will. Yeah, well, next construction office we build will be, Dennis, I'm responding to your, we did get the 20 construction office, 20 vehicle, let me see if, I don't know how well we can tell what it looks like, but, we should be able to fit 20 vehicles. So the next construction office that we build, but, if you guys, have an opinion, like I said, I'm liking this area just because it's, I don't know, it's got open spaces. I know I got a lot of iron around here if we need it. We don't have so much coal, but then we do have, coal right back here if we want it for something. We could always, because we probably will need, well, we got 2 coal mines. How's our coal doing over here? Look, it's really low. So yeah, Steve, you are right. We do have, now here, look, here's another thing. Are we maxed out here? Yeah, we may just be maxed out on our ore processing. Yeah, we'll have to keep a look on that, or take a look at that next week. Because I think we're maxed out on our ore processing, assuming we're getting good, steady people, which we might just have 15 at this instant. But we've got plenty of coal ore, we're just, and we got 15 people, but maybe that drops off at times and we don't get caught up. Or we could just be using that much, right? Because we're maximum 200 coal or 120 coal, and this guy can consume 375. So we could have 3 of these running. And look, we do have 120 workers, so it's possible. But I have a feeling it's a matter of maybe not having the best steady employees coming up to this. We just happen to see it at a better spot. And then how's our oil doing before we leave? Yeah, we definitely want to get these. We're getting our rails built, right? We don't look. We got 1,200,000. I hadn't even paid attention to that for a while. So yeah, we're starting to build up a lot on money. And we got 4 rail cranes going now, and we're building this up to here, which will get us even more money. So yeah, it's time to really consider what we're going to build next. And then there we go. Look, off the rails is graffiti house. Hopefully it doesn't say anything vulgar. I didn't even think of that. I'm sure you would have warned me right off the rails. Okay, yeah, we can check the population. Yeah, it really didn't change that much. 667. So we're kind of stagnating. We don't have any plus 21-year-olds. We have room. Oh, no, look. Oh, no, I clicked on the wrong building. Yeah, look, we only have 48 people in this house. Now, I'm not sure if it's particularly beneficial to move people out of this one because they're kind of maxed, or I wouldn't think it makes much difference. The 21-year-olds just become 21, and then they would move into here, right? As long as you're relatively close enough. And if that wasn't happening, you would think we'd have some plus 21s. So, anyway, if we were to look at this year, what are we, in July? Yeah, it's sort of flattened out a bit. I mean, last year was like kind of real steady growing, and then this year's kind of flattened out for some reason. It's probably, you probably get this, surges in babies, and see how we have like less babies now, and then it probably grows and shrinks. We got a bunch of bunch of children that will become working age adults. Oh, is it? Why is it controversial? Or just the fact that it is a graffiti house is controversial? I mean, that is a heck of a graffiti house. Oh, there's got Jesus on there, right? Or something that looks like Jesus. That's nice. Does that make it controversial? Lord knows what people get pissed off about these days. People are half nuts, worrying about what other people are doing. My advice to you guys is just take care of your own. Who cares what somebody else thinks? Everybody's got an opinion. Half the people in the world I constantly disagree with on their opinion. It doesn't mean they're bad people. It just means they disagree with you. Who cares if they disagree with you? Move on with your life. Do your thing. Anyway, that's my advice. I don't know. Either that or get upset about what everybody else does if that's what makes you happy. Certainly not what I'm going to do. Anyway, so I don't know, how controversial can graffiti house be? Okay, guys. Well, I'm going to wrap it up, unless you guys have anything else to say. Sorry for the short episode. Like I said, a friend in need is a friend indeed, or something like that. So I'm glad I went and helped him. And sorry for the delay for those of you who might have been waiting for 2. Oh, and if you live in a country that doesn't do daylight savings time, because I think Germany, from what I understand from Dennis, and Britain has already fell back. But we will be falling back here this weekend. So next week's episode will be an hour earlier, if I got that right. Probably it's confusing. But in other words, today, 2 o'clock. Next week, my 1 o'clock will be 2 o'clock because we fall back an hour. So keep that in mind if your country doesn't change daylight savings time like we do here in America. That next Saturday should be an hour earlier than for you than for me, if that makes any sense. It'll still be 2 o'clock here, but it'll be 1 o'clock there, or something goofy. I just confused myself, but I hope you know what I mean. Yeah, well, Yuri, it's all good. I mean, that's one of the reasons we put up with our long lag here is you could go back and watch the beginning if you wanted, or even if you just can't make it. I'm not sure how many people watch for how long, but at the same time, it seems like more people watch it afterwards. There's only, 13 people here. and many of these episodes end up with 200 views or more. So I'm not sure how they count all that stuff, but it's all a little bit mysterious when you deal with YouTube. But it's, that's why I do this, and put up with the extra lag so that way you guys can watch it back later on if you can't catch it. Yeah, Mike, take care. Yeah, I hope all of you guys have a wonderful week, and thank you as always for your subscriptions and your likes and all of those. And sorry about the low quality video for those of you who might have watched Thursday's video. I think it was Thursday. It came out at like 360p. It was nothing I did. I did everything I normally do, including when you watch a video that just got uploaded, sometimes it's in low quality, but I had uploaded it the day before, which has never been an issue before. You guys know I did nothing different than I normally do with that video. It's just something happened with YouTube, but anyway, it seems to be fixed now. So yeah, and Europe was last weekend. Okay, that's good to know. Yep. Well, take care, guys. And again, thanks for all your support and comments and compliments, and I definitely appreciate it. It means a lot to me. So I hope you guys have a good week, and I hope to see you back next Saturday. Take care. Bye.